Hey guys, all right, we're back again at the BOREHAMWOOD test center. This actually was done, I think a week ago or so, and just didn't get time to upload it. Yeah, unfortunately, student didn't pass. But I feel so bad for this student. Was actually super nervous, such that at the end, the examiner actually really felt bad for them because they turned around and said, look, you might need to even get some calming medicine from the pharmacy, because obviously it's not good if you're driving in this sort of state. But yeah, sometimes tests can be really overwhelming, no matter how much practice you've put in. So can't knock the student for the effort that they put in with all the lessons. They've done the test before. Again, it was a similar thing where it's just the nerves that got to them. They seem to be all right on approach to the test this time round, but during it, just completely kind of, I wouldn't say lost it, but yeah, the technique and the methods and all the rules that they've learned kind of just went out the window when it came to roundabouts. And it's always been roundabouts, even in the previous test for the student. Again, as soon as they turn up to a roundabout, it just seems to go out the window on a test. When it's on a lesson, we've literally drilled it in, many times. Straight ahead second exits, which seem to confuse them a bit, and then right third exits. But worked on it, done them well in the lessons, and then when it comes to the tests, as you're going to see soon, unfortunately it didn't work out. So what happens is they've been asked to follow signs later on, in a few minutes, to Brent Cross, central London, which is a right third exit. Started off in the correct lane, and as they start shifting over, it becomes a little bit of a mess, but it wasn't too bad on the first one. They kind of smoothly sort of moved over, but with the first roundabout, which you'll see, it's all laned out quite well, so even if you don't change lanes, you'll end up on the right hand lane, the third lane on the dual carriageway. And I'll probably just mention it again as we get to it, but and then you can just change lanes later, so you don't even have to change lanes on the roundabout. It's actually quite straightforward. Then what happens is they go all the way down the A1 all the way towards Apex roundabout, which everyone hates, but it's actually not a bad roundabout because it's all laned out quite well. They've been asked to follow signs for Edgware and go straight ahead second exit. They started off in the perfect lane, the correct lane for Edgware, followed it round correctly, and then just randomly started shifting lanes. Again, just nerves and pressure, but you'll see it soon, and I'll probably mention it again with a bit of commentary as we get to it. But yeah, have a look. Another test route. It's a shame, but hopefully you guys can all learn from all these errors. That's why I'm kind of just putting them up. It's great when they pass, absolutely amazing when they pass, but a lot of the viewers seem to prefer or like to see where people have gone wrong, just so that they can learn from it, and not in a bad way. But yeah, so hopefully you guys will learn from it, have a look at the roundabouts, and then go from there. Good luck. All right, guys, this is where the first kind of error crept in, and they've been asked to follow signs. You can see the signboard there on the left-hand side towards Brent Cross, or here, this one says Edgware Mill Hill, and nice lorry truck just pulling out in front of us. That's just great. But yeah, they start in the correct lane, going right, third exit, and then you'll shortly see student joins the roundabout, lovely, stays on the right lane, and then just kind of changes lanes a little bit awkwardly afterwards, but nothing dangerous. No one was sort of cut up, which is key. So you can see they've positioned, they've angled themselves well, and then once it's safe to go, hopefully we'll start moving up, and then yeah, they joined the roundabout quite well. So I can't really fault them for that. So here we go. They haven't cut any other lanes. They've gone all the way to the inside lane. You can see the arrows on the ground, so it's perfect. So the first exit's gone, second exit's there, and then the third exit's on the left, and then the fourth one is towards Edgware and Brent Cross. So you can literally stay in this lane. Look on the ground, there's an arrow literally said you can go straight. So you could have stayed in that lane. All these 3 lanes, there's 4 lanes later on in total, and then these 3 lanes will kind of will take you towards it. So you can see on the ground you got 1, 2, 3 lanes, but look, they've kind of gone left a bit, right a bit, now in the middle, and then they might change lanes shortly. So they've stayed well here, and then I think they go back to the left lane shortly, which are meant to do anyway. But you can see a little bit of indecision before, but then they carried on all the way towards Apex, and then I'll resume the commentary in a bit. So the examiner didn't mark them down for that roundabout because they changed lanes well in the end, even though there's a little bit of indecision, but there was no one affected. So the student had progressed all the way, but it's the next roundabout which is key and really, really important. So just have a look, and shortly, in a couple of minutes, you'll see that roundabout coming up. So have a look on the right. If you pause it, you can see there's signs there saying Edgware. It's also on the ground as well, which is written Edge. So students in the perfect lane. You can see the slight differences in the lane markings on the left-hand side compared to the other lanes. So the left-hand lane is going somewhere else. And then as we progress towards Apex Roundabout now, student is in the correct lane for going straight ahead, second exit towards Edgware. If you notice on the ground, keep an eye on the road markings. All right, you can see it says Edge. All right, it's got straight arrow. That left lane slips off to the left. We are now technically on the left lane. We're meant to stay on the left, positioned well, and then just cut straight across into the middle, which is wrong. On the ground it says A41. Now the students are a bit lost. They're meant to go on that left exit there, but they've kind of gone now into the third lane, come back into the middle. Now they've exited, and then now they're going to come back to the left lane. So that, as you can see, was a big mess. Yeah, bit of a shame. They've just waited for that vehicle, and then now they're coming back to the left lane. So lane changing wise, when they're on a straight, as you can see, students quite aware of any cars around them. Clearly didn't cut in front of that car, but unfortunately on the roundabout, they would get completely lost. Started perfectly in that left lane, followed the signs for edgeware, and then all of a sudden just got lost. But yeah, that's a shame, and that was where the error was. But the examiner could see the nerves just really kicking in, and then yeah, that was the end of the test really. But yeah, I kind of commend the student for continuing. They've done really well to get through the whole test, despite deep down probably knowing that they've made that error. But you know, it's quite hard once you know that you've almost failed. But number one rule, never think that you failed. Continue all the way to the end and let the examiners make that decision. That's their job, not yours.